The start screaming button is kind of grayed on my... Ah, here we go. It looks like it's live now. This is wonderful. Okay, I'm going to check and make sure that I'm getting voice. So give me a second here. Okay, and now I'm just adjusting the window here. This looks like it's not going to be very clear. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure what that problem is. No, looks. Oh no, it's gotten better. Okay, it looks like it's adjusted. Okay, so what I'm doing here. This is Vance Stevens. I'm about to start a session, starting to talk to Electronic Village Online Techno CLIL session, and I'm just setting up the stream. And there we go. So now I think the session has started. Put my earphones in and see. Hello, is anybody there? I got a message that says all okay. There's a text stream here which you can't quite see. Oh. Okay, they asked me if I'm good to go. So this is Learning Together episode 357. It's the 15th of January 2017, and they haven't started at their end. We're streaming from WizIQ. Things look pretty good here. It looks like I think I'll just ignore the stream for a little while because I believe it is starting okay. So I'm just waiting for them to begin my class. It looks like the class is set to begin in about 1 minute, and in fact it's beginning in 9 seconds. Okay. 2 seconds, 1 second, and it looks like we may have begun.
Hello, hello everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to this webinar.
Hello.
So before launching the recording, can we just try out the system? Just try the microphone. I think it's okay. What about your webcam?
Yeah, am I on webcam? Oh, my webcam's not on. Why not? Let me see. Why is it not?
Okay.
There we go. All right. Yes, it's. What do I have to do to make it work? I can see it.
Yeah, just click on the icon you find top right.
Yeah.
The icon of the webcam. You should click on it.
Yeah.
And should be active after clicking on it.
Okay, let's see if I click on video. Oh, here we go. I got it. There's a little button I had to click. That should.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, you're coming out. Very good.
All right. Yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you, Vance. Okay, so now I'm launching the recording.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just want to introduce you very briefly. Techno CLIL for EVO 2017. This webinar is part of this initiative, and today we have the honor, the privilege to have Vance Stevens, who is among the web heads of EVO, Electronic Village Online. So it's a great honor for us to have you here, Vance. So Vance Stevens teaches computing at Petroleum Institute in Abu Dhabi. After a 20-year career in English language teaching as co-specialist and coordinator, he works in software development in California as educational technology consultant before returning to the Middle East and worked for a language school in Abu Dhabi. There he founded the online community Webheads, resulting in involvement in many community-based online professional development levers, which have formed the basis of his professional development life in this past decade. So Vance is a star in this field of Webheads, so we're very happy to have you here, and he's going to talk about Minecraft, which is becoming more and more popular among our schools and so in Italy as well, and so it's going to explore the field of the possible application of Minecraft in language learning and CLIL. So a very interesting topic. Thanks again, Vance, for accepting our invitation, and the floor is yours.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I don't remember where you said I was working, but I work actually at the Khalifa bin Zayed Air College in Al Ain, and I'm an English teacher there now. So I do switch careers every now and then. And let's see, I presume if I'm going to be able to advance my slides, I have to, there we go, there my slides just popped up. That's wonderful. Okay, I really appreciate your inviting me here to talk to you. This is my second invitation in 2 years. I spoke also to the Techno CLIL group last year. And last year, as you can see from the title here on my slide, I believe, well, we were in EVO Minecraft MOOC 16, because we're an EVO session as well. Our EVO session, well, I'm going to tell you about it, but it's basically about gamification, and we're learning gamification basically. We're learning it through Minecraft. And in our third iteration, we do change how we operate, and let's see, hang on a minute, let me just close the door. There's a cat in the other room and he's whining in the hall. Hang on just a second. Okay, he's just back. This cat, it's a lovely little cat, but for some reason he lets us know if he's not really happy. So anyhow, so we're a parallel EVO Electronic Village session. I also manage something called Learning Together, and this is what I consider Learning Together episode number 357. On Learning Together, I always mention the date. It's the 15th of January 2017, and so that's kind of about me and what I'm doing, and how I've been moderating this EVO session for 3 years now. I've been involved with EVO since 2001. I moderated, 2002. That's when I moderated my first session called Webheads in Action, and then I became a coordinator in 2003. And since then I've moderated sessions most years. Oh, by the way, let's see now, I can't see the chat all that well. I think there's some magic trick I have to do here to make it big. Oh no, that just copies the chat. Can I resize it? Is there something I can do with the chat? I can't see the chat at all. I won't be able to see it unless I can undock it. Am I able to do that? Here we go. Oh, I think maybe I've got it now. Yeah, I've got it. Okay. There we go. No, it's not stretching. Sorry, I just no, doesn't seem to be resizing. So, oh, I can not put it away now. Sorry. one thing about the WizIQ interface is you're not really able to get in and play around with it. Okay, so I suppose if someone's monitoring the chat, you feel free to interrupt me and tell me if there's something I should attend to, because I can't see the chat at all. It's just a tiny little one-liner there for me. Okay, so anyway, I have a nice habit in my presentations. All my slides are online, so the slides that you see right now, you can actually go online to get them. And that's at slideshare.net/VanceS. Theoretically, the links should work, but they aren't actually working in all the slides. But anyway, something else I'm going to adjust here. There we go. I guess my window is large. My video window. That's another thing. I'm just adjusting on my computer as my view is different from others, I suppose. Okay, so anyway, oh, I see. I have to advance my slides. Sorry about this. I'm having trouble getting the, okay. Next slide. Here we are. Okay, that's the slide I was on. That's where you'll find my slides. If you go to that presentation, slideshare.net/VanceS, you can see, you can have control of these slides. You can see the slides, you can scroll back and forth, and a lot of the links are working. Okay, so for example, at the next page, there's a little link that shows, there's a URL at the bottom. I actually don't think that's working in slideshare.net, which is kind of a shame. Slideshare.net doesn't really get all the links, especially the early parts of the slides. But anyway, you could go to that link and you could see an explanation of EVO Minecraft MOOC, the 17th, 2017. This is actually, the video is the first part of the EVO kickoff, which we had last Saturday, I believe, last Saturday the 7th, January 7th. And at that session, Linda Gielen and I, Linda is one of my co-moderators, we came on and talked a little bit about what we're doing in EVO Minecraft MOOC 17. So that, I took the first part of the video. It's about 15 minutes long, and if you wanted to learn more about how we see the session in 15 minutes, you could play that. So the other moderators are listed there as well. I guess the most salient ones who are actively participating are Rose Bard, besides Linda, of course, and Glenn Irvin is very active in our Google Plus community, and Jeff Kuhn is actually our master at Minecraft. He started our server for us, and he's at Ohio University, where Aaron Schwartz, his colleague, is now maintaining the server. So these people are particularly, and Mircea Petrashku, I must mention him. He's also he teaches coding to young people, and he does a lot of work with Minecraft, and he performs magic on our server. He's been very he makes it a lot interesting. Anyway, these are the current moderators, and we go on to the next slide. So the next thing is about your invitation for me to come to talk to Techno CLIL. Now, I just copied onto this slide how you introduced CLIL, Content and Language Integrated Learning. And so actually, if we pop to the next slide, we can see how we can take that that language, and we can see what parts I focused on. So, content and language integrated learning. This Minecraft serves itself quite well to this, and especially the what you call the dual focus, fostering development of language competence and the delivery of subject content at the same time. So it turns out that Minecraft is quite good for language learning, especially, well, English language. I suppose, you know, if I wanted to learn French very well or Italian, I might find communities that produce videos in Italian in Minecraft. But for people who are looking to learn English, there is quite a lot of stuff online. So that's one way that Minecraft. I have some stories. I'll show you some stories in a minute, or tell you some stories. But anyway, we have some incidental evidence about how how this works. Also, it's quite good for it's used in lots of different subjects. English language teaching is just one, but many subjects like chemistry, maths, architecture, you can think of lots of ways that Minecraft could be used. So so learning curricular subjects in foreign language, I'll show you a little bit about that. I'll talk a little bit more about that. And another focus of your session is combining teaching strategies and technical tools. And teaching strategies, the strategy I'm going to talk about is gamification. And the tool, of course, is Minecraft. So Minecraft lends itself very well to these things. So starting with that first point, the dual focus, fostering development of language competences and the delivery of subject content at the same time. Mariana Smolchitz, I don't remember her name. I didn't mention her as a moderator. She's one of our moderators. She's actually not actively moderating right now, but she's been a moderator with us for 2015 and 2016. But she has a son named Philip, who is actually quite an expert at Minecraft, and he's also fluent in English. And we wrote an article together. What Mariana did was she interviewed her son, basically. Oh, by the way, I'm just checking my slideshare.net links. If you went to SlideShare and you went to slide 6, you would find this. You could be looking at this article if you want. So basically, I'm getting something. This is interesting. Oh, okay, never mind. Something is coming up on my screen that distracted me, so never mind. Okay, so anyway, you could see the article, but I'm going to look particularly at 3 stories from this article. The first story is about Mariana herself. So what she did, she wrote the article, as I said, interviewing her son, and I did the research on the background for Minecraft. But what she said about her son, we gave a presentation together with Braun Stuckey at last year's SL Languages Conference. And this slide is from the slide show there, and actually the slide, let's see, looking at it, that slide may not be that hyperlink might not work in my slideshare.net, but anyway, it doesn't matter. You could probably Google it. You could Google Minecraft as a way to gamify learning, and you'd come up on that SlideShare. But the slide is from that presentation, so you can see Mariana's picture there and her son Philip. And Philip has his own YouTube channel. It's called Snake Gaming, and he attributes, basically in this article, he attributes his fluency to interacting with other people, and he makes videos to show them what he does with Minecraft, and he makes videos to explain Minecraft. He's interacted with us. He's actually, we consider him one of our co-moderators, and he's also an example of how we flip learning in EVO Minecraft MOOC, because EVO Minecraft MOOC, the people who started it, didn't really know much about Minecraft. We wanted to learn about Minecraft. So we attracted people like, well, actually, through learning together, I attracted Mariana, and then she got her son. She started telling me about his interest in Minecraft, and I was interested in Minecraft. So the two of us, really, Mariana and I, as seminal co-moderators, started the EVO Minecraft MOOC, or started the idea. And in writing this article, we found other people who, other people with experience in Minecraft. For example, one was Dave Dodgson, who was distracting me a moment ago because he had popped onto Discord, which is something that we use when we're in Minecraft, so I know he's there right now. But anyway, David Dodgson, we interviewed him in the story, or we didn't interview him, sorry. He's in the, he was one of the examples in the story. Now this is interesting, especially for people in CLIL, because he was working in Turkey, and he said that his son, his own son, British son, I suppose, he works for the British Council, so I suppose he's British, and his son was going to the school that he was teaching at. Now, the students there had the easier of these books, the green book. They had the green book in Turkish. It was available in Turkish. And when they wanted to know more about Minecraft, they would get the Turkish version. David wanted an English version for his son, so he went to a bookstore that sold English books, and he bought these two books in English, and he gave them to his son. Now his son took the book to his class and showed his friends, and some of his friends' relatives or brothers and sisters were in David's class where he was teaching. He was using Minecraft in his teaching, and where they were interested in the game of Minecraft. When they discovered this advanced Minecraft book, the red one, they went to the store and bought copies, and then they started reading it. And so this is some evidence, some anecdotal evidence that that shows you a little bit about the students' motivation to actually use the language to learn more about Minecraft, because it's quite compelling for them. So that's the second story. And then the third story comes from Jeff Kuhn. And Jeff was somebody who, by the way, Jeff gave a talk on at the 2015 Call IS IATEFL webinar. There was a joint webinar on gamification and gaming and gamification, and Jeff's presentation there was about a class that he was teaching, an English class, where the topic, it was a creative writing class, and the topic was disaster management. So in order to get his students, to give them something to write about, he got them into Minecraft, where there's lots of chaos management. Basically, you're being attacked by monsters a lot, and you have to collaborate there and build shelters, and you find that you're not really in the game all by yourself. You're in the game with other people. This is really what gamification is about. It's a very good illustration of how things work in gamified environments. So having actually listened to his presentation, then we wrote about it in our article, and also Dave gave his presentation in 2014 at the ResCon conference. Again, I listened to that, and I asked both of them if they wanted to join us as moderators in the 2015 EVO Minecraft MOOC session, and they both agreed. So our first moderators were Jeff and David, and Mariana and Philip, and other people came along. We had some other moderators as well, but they're the ones who are still with us. Now the next point I want to make is the second part. If I go back, let's see, I might as well just kick back to see where we are here. Okay, this is what we're talking about. We were just talking about fostering development of language competencies, and a technology tool for doing that. The second point is the learning of a curricular subject matter in a foreign language. So here's an instance of this. Is everybody hearing me okay and following? Oh, bad sound. I see something that says bad sound. Is that a problem? Would anybody like to come on and tell me more about it? It's okay? Okay. I can see one line of chat. I don't... I managed to pop it up a little bit. Oh, I've got it bigger. Well, if I don't try to drag it all, if I just drag it a little bit by bit, chat is coming up. So let me just work it up. Okay. All right. I've actually got, now I'm actually able to to see some of what you're saying. It's still not very big. Maybe I could do something about that. I really hate not having to chat when oh, that's okay. For some reason now it's working. Before I was not able to stretch it. Okay, so all right, looks like somebody says they have no access to my slides. If you need access to my slides, please go to slideshare.net/VANCES. That's my username, Vance S, in slideshare.net, and you'll find, if you just look at my uploads, you'll find that this is the latest one from yesterday. I do things at the last minute. Okay, so okay, so now going back to the curricular, using a variety of curricular subjects in a foreign language. This is an example of someone who presented with us, my colleagues and I, at an ISTE conference in 2015 in Philadelphia. Her name is Mary Kay Pauley. She's a teacher in the United Arab Emirates, and she, in her, it looks like she was in a grade 5 classroom, just reading her slide here. So she presented via Skype at something we did on iPedagogy, but we had Mary Kay present, and she told us a very interesting story. Her students, her 5th grade students, were, and I don't really know exactly what she was teaching, but it was 5th grade. She's a 5th grade teacher, so she must have had a lot of subjects. History, perhaps, geography, things like that. So whatever she was teaching, this range of subjects, when students got any free time on computers, they would often go to Minecraft, and she noticed that they were quite interested in it. And she had the idea to, she wanted to see if she could use it in the curriculum. And so she had the students wanted to use it, but she told them she had to justify their use of Minecraft as being something that they could do for their, you know, something that's part of their curriculum. And so she had them prepare the justification. She showed them the syllabus. She said, okay, you tell me, how can we do this in our syllabus? And the students thought about it, and they thought, well, we could do this, we could do that. This way, this is what we can do to use Minecraft to learn more about our syllabus. And so they worked it into the syllabus, and I thought that was a very interesting story. So there's a little saying that's, if people ever ask you, is Minecraft in the curriculum? You know, if you're suggesting to use Minecraft, they'll push back on you. They say, well, how is it in the curriculum? But the answer to that is the curriculum is in it. So what you have to do is you have to find a way to teach what you want to teach in Minecraft. It's very flexible. Jeff Kuhn, he's doing a PhD in gamification right now, and he's very knowledgeable, and he gives me lots of ideas. And one thing that he says is that Minecraft is a toy, not really a tool. It's a toy. It's not really a game. Well, it is a game. Sorry, it's a game, but it's player versus world. It's not really player versus player. It's player with player, sort of fighting against things in the world. Okay, so anyway, I talked about Minecraft MOOC last year. That was the last thing, combining teaching strategies and technical tools. The strategy that I think emerges from Minecraft is gamification. And this is the talk I gave last time. Let's see, if you go to oh, I don't know if that link works at the bottom of the slides either, but anyway, if you find my I gave a talk at the Connecting Online conference on February 7th, and that talk actually was a permutation of the talk that I gave to this to Techno CLIL on February 3rd. So those slides are there, and there's a link to it at the bottom of the SlideShare link is there. So actually, if you're in my slideshare.net/VanceS, you can find the things that I said and the slides from my talk last year. So I'm trying not to repeat that, but I am going to admit I'm going to repeat a little of it because some of what I said there needs to be said. So Minecraft looks kind of like this. It has two modes to play in. You can play in survival mode or creative mode. Now, if you know anything about Minecraft, you know that we're in creative mode now because there are monsters here, but they are not bothering anybody, so they just happen to be there. So you can go and see the monsters in creative mode. In creative mode, you get access to all your tools, all the resources, anything you want in creative mode. You can have it there. Basically, it's a mode where you can learn how to use the tools to build. You can learn how to build. You can build what you want. You can have anything you want to build with. You can fly. The monsters are there, but they don't bother anybody. You can make really fanciful builds. The examples that followed, I don't really have them here, but if you go to my original slideshow, you can see examples of some of the things that people in EVO Minecraft MOOC built. But what we're doing now in the current version, we actually built worlds over the last couple of years. We have one creative world where we have these fanciful structures. Creative works best if it's done on a flat world. So, but the most interesting worlds are in survival world, where the game generates terrain. But when you're there, you have to. You're a bit constrained. You have to. You enter the game as basically with no resources at all. You have to find them. You have to punch trees. You have to you have to get wood, and then you can break down the wood, and you can make crafting tables to craft more objects, and you can dig. It's called Minecraft because it's all about mining. So you get resources, and you have to protect yourself. As you can see from the graphic there, the day, it turns out the day is 1/72nd of a, every minute is 1/72nd of a minute. So a day actually lasts 20 minutes, and is that 20 minutes for a day? Yes. Yeah, each day and night lasts about 10 minutes. So a day is 20 minutes. That happens to be 1/72nd of a real day. So days and nights kind of pass quickly. In survival world at night, that's when the monsters come out, and if they kill you, you'll die and you respawn. You come back and you have a chance to play, but you lose everything that you have unless you can create a shelter, and you can keep things in your shelter. And then if you do happen to die when you're out, and that happens often, then you can always go back to your shelter, and you can start the game again. So you start learning how to keep in the game, and how to survive, especially with other players. If you're in a nice community, and this is the problem actually with trying to learn Minecraft, it's very difficult to get into a community. which is why Marianne and I had the idea to start one ourselves and attract people to it. So we call it a MOOC. It's EVO Minecraft MOOC. A MOOC, I don't know how familiar you are with MOOCs, but they're by definition massive open online courses. So it's massive. MOOC has a lot of people in it. Ours has, well, yours is very massive. You know about MOOCs because you guys are a MOOC. You have thousands of participants in your MOOC. And a MOOC is open as in free, as in beer. It's open and also free as in liberty. The resources are accessible by anybody. The only thing that's not free in Minecraft is Minecraft itself. You have to pay almost $30, like $28 or something like that, to purchase a login to Minecraft. The login gives you access to Minecraft on any device. So once you've got your login, you can then download the software on any device. There's software there's a Pocket Edition for iPad. There's an Xbox Edition. There's a server. You can download a server for free and you can install it. It doesn't take a lot of some courses in Minecraft. Some MOOCs, actually, a Minecraft MOOC they had recently that actually taught people how to do Minecraft systematically started out by download a server and get it set up. So I don't know if you've seen this diagram by Stephen Downes, but the reason that we use MOOCs is that the diagram on the left doesn't scale. When you have just a teacher trying to teach other people, that's not very effective for things that you really want to learn. And there's another aspect about MOOCs is brought up by Dave Cormier in a Learning Together session he did with us. There's something called Kinefin, which is something made by the proponent of that is David Snowden, not the Snowden who's in Russia right now, but the philosopher, the researcher. And in this model, there are 4 kinds of problems. There are simple problems, complicated problems, complex and chaotic problems. And from Dave Cormier's perspective, he thinks that MOOCs are especially good at complex and chaotic problems. If you're seeking solutions for those, a MOOC is good for that. So if you're doing something like language learning, or you're doing something like language learning, which actually is a complex, chaotic situation. If you're trying to understand something, or if you're trying to understand CLIL even, you could say that CLIL is the cat is, yeah. If you really want to explore it in depth, you'll go onto the complex, chaotic side. So it's not an issue you can really teach. You can't teaching itself is complex and chaotic. There are very few simple things, but say you're teaching someone how to add, or simple formulas, chemistry formulas. These can be simple problems, or a complicated problem might be, well, it's where you analyze, you respond to things. So you start synthesizing chemicals. Okay, so this is getting complicated, but you don't really need MOOCs for that. You need a more basic course. But basically, MOOCs address these very chaotic problems. So this is EVO Minecraft MOOC's hidden agenda. It's not really so much about Minecraft, it's about gamification, because gamification too is a very complex thing to understand. And the reason it's complex is that it's ineffable. It is something that you need to experience in order to understand it. So if you haven't really experienced gamification, it's very difficult for you to construct a gamified environment for learners. So what our EVO Minecraft MOOC session is designed to do is to let people go into a game like Minecraft. But what we're really trying to get them to understand is that by being in the game, we're trying to get them to understand gamification. Okay, and as an illustration of that, there's somebody who's just joined us in the 2017 course, and she wrote, "What an adventure I had with Rose today." That's Rose Bard, one of our moderators. Together we found the roofed forest biome and built a home there. It was great collaboration. It was wonderful to have company to explore and to do something together. And so that's the thing that you learn about gamification, is when you're in this game, you're in the Minecraft game, but what you're really learning about is in the overarching, the big game, what we call the big game, well, the big G game. Let me just advance the slides and we'll see what all that's about. So this is another of Jeff Kuhn's discoveries. He's got me reading G and watching his videos. If you Google G, gamification, John Paul G, I believe is his name, he wrote an interesting article called "The Ecology of Games," where he I guess introduced, or at least he expounded on the concept of the big G game and the little G game. The little G game is the game that you find, the shrink-wrapped game, the one that you Sabine, I see you're asking for a practical example. Well, maybe we'll come to that, but anyway, yeah. So the little G game is Minecraft itself. The big G game is the social setting in which the game is placed. So keeping that in mind, we're not really playing Minecraft to learn about Minecraft. We're playing Minecraft to learn the big G game. So we have one example I give is Facebook. It's a game with a game board. Facebook has you don't really know how to play it. You go to Facebook, you go to the Facebook site, and then it says, "What's on your mind?" So you answer that question, and then you start connecting with friends, and you sort of intuitively figure it out. Nobody really reads a manual about Facebook unless you read the user agreement and then go in and try to adjust your settings, your privacy settings. But most people just do it, and most apps work that way, really. So people just do them. You learn about something that is good, you download them, and you just get on it, and you try to do what is there that will help you. So this is our Google Plus community page. It's where people go to play the big G game of EVO MC17 now. We're in the 17th version. So when you go there, you find things that you can click on. And we have missions. Well, let's see, I have a better description on the next slide. So you go to this page, everything you want is there. There's a link to it in case you go to the slides. We're on slide 18. So if you go to slide 18, you can find the link there to the Google Plus community. And this is what you find there. So if actually it might be on this slide that you find the link. I'm not sure if the link is working on the other one. I've got the slides up. Yes, the link works here. So these links work on this page. So you can find our session the same way you found the Techno CLIL session. You go to evosessions.pbworks.com and you find the session you're looking for, and that's its link. And then, as with Techno CLIL, you clicked on the link to the Moodle and you signed up there. So ours points to this Google Plus community. And then you'll find a sidebar there. And from there you can find a syllabus. You find a form to enroll in the course. And what you put in that form, really, the most important thing there is your Minecraft username so that we can whitelist you on the server. Beth, she can't hear. Why can't she hear? Okay, Beth Ghost Raven, by the way, is someone from the EVO Minecraft community. And I'm not sure what, let's see, her real name is Beth O'Connell. And I'm not sure, I don't see the previous parts of the chat. But anyway, I see that she's had a problem and I'm disappointed. Anyway, so maybe I hope one of the recordings will work. And we're getting complaints about bad audio. So again, I'm not sure what I can do about that. Okay. Okay, some people are hearing fine, alright, so there could be connectivity problems. Well, that's good, I'm getting some response, that's good to see. Okay, so anyway, basically what I was talking about was that if you want to play the game of Minecraft, this one, if you want to play this, that's where you go to learn about gamification. So Minecraft is the little g game, and the big G game is this one. It's the game of EVO Minecraft MOOC. So when you go to that game board, then you find these elements, and one of them is missions accomplished. So over here, and this slide, it says there's a little box here that says to play with us. Oh, sorry, it says missions accomplished. Tells you where they are. So the missions accomplished are it's basically the things that you have to do each week to earn a badge. Okay, so these are the missions on the next slide. That's in a wiki. So when you click there, you go to this wiki, which tells you what you need to do week by week. And you'll notice that the weeks are orientation, declare, network, cluster, and focus. Are you familiar with Dave Cormier's 5 steps for coping with MOOCs? He made some very famous videos in which he said that if you want to cope with a MOOC, it's very big, you can't really interact with the teacher because that model doesn't scale. You're going to be interacting with each other. And so when you go to a MOOC, and it happens to be a 5-week course, as you know, a 5-week session. Actually, we're supposed to call them sessions. So the first week we call it orientation, and the second week, by then you're supposed to have been able to sort of figure out where you are and what you're doing, and you declare, which means that you post something about yourself and you introduce yourself and you sort of state why you're there. We take really 2 weeks for that. This phase is pretty much orientation. The third week, in the third step in coping with MOOCs in Dave Cormier's concept, is networking with other people. So once you're not going to, because you're on this model over here, let me just pop back to this slide. So recall this slide, you're in the model where you're networking with other people in the MOOC, because you don't really have direct access to one teacher. What MOOCs do is they distribute knowledge, so that knowledge available in a network is available to everyone in the network by virtue of, if I have access to you, then I also have access to somebody that you have access to. The knowledge, all the knowledge in the network is available to anyone in that network. That's Siemens' idea of connectivism. So he says that the pipes are more important than the content in the pipes, which means that your connections with other people are the things that bring you the knowledge. The knowledge is there like berries on the bush. You just have to know how to get to those berries. The fourth step, and what we do in the fourth week, is cluster. So because you're going to be networking with other people, you're going to find people with common goals, common things that they want to learn. And typically people in MOOCs, because if there are thousands of people, you might cluster with, say, half a dozen of them, or a couple dozen at the most, maybe. The last step is to focus. So the MOOC should let you focus. So the activities that we do in EVO Minecraft MOOC are sort of categorized in these things. Right now, for the first 2 weeks, we're orienting with each other. Then we'll be networking. Basically, I suppose we go to Minecraft and we find a network of people there, and we network in our Google Plus community. People are posting there. And then clustering means that people in Minecraft, that means probably some people come together and they help each other build, and they help each other survive, and they help each other farm so they can feed each other, and there are lots of ways you can develop in Minecraft. And focus, what that does is it looks to the future. So EVO Minecraft MOOC has been going on in the same community, really, the same server space, the same Google Plus community for 3 years now. We're in our 3rd year. So our community is actually focusing 1 year to the next. We're taking projects 1 year into the next. So it teaches us gamification, because you can't be taught gamification. You really have to experience it. So we're trying to the game space that we set up, where you have missions to accomplish, and it's interesting because when people go to our game space, they don't ask a lot of questions. People don't act confused. They're not really saying what should I be doing, or at least if they are, we're not hearing them. But most people just go and come to the world, and they might wonder, what am I supposed to do here? Okay, well, let's just explore it and build and show you how to do it. The way we've constructed our world is we have a creative space and a survival space, and you can actually port between the two of them. So if you want to go to creative world and experiment there, you can. If you want to come to survival world, you can do that. When we played the first year, we spent about half the time in creative, and then we moved to survival and we started developing there. That was my first experience in survival. It was very daunting for me. I didn't really know how to cope with that world. So I discovered that other people, like Jeff, for example, had set up shelters and put signs outside the shelters that said, "Come inside. You can survive here." And then there were things there, things to eat, and then I might find Jeff himself, and Jeff would take me down mining, and he'd show me things we could do. Like Jane's experience when she met Rose, and they built a home together. So this is the kind of thing that you find when you go into a gamified space, is that you find other people who try to help you. The game of Minecraft gives us an intrinsic motivation to be in the space and learning from one another, but being there is where you learn about gamification, and you start thinking, now what am I trying to teach? Sabina, I believe, was asking about a concrete example. This is so I teach language, so if now I can see many ways where everything is in English here, so students really want to be there, and so you can show people a lot of things. But one of the people, Mircea, who is one of our co-moderators, he does some interesting things for us. He explores the world. He's very good at Minecraft, so he can find places, and even he develops paths that we can follow. Actually, he makes screenshots. He says, here you have to go here, you have to go here. So we'll follow his paths and try to find where he's been, and we're looking for maybe a temple or a series of temples. Sometimes he booby traps the temples. It's really compelling to get a few of us together. Our co-moderators were doing this between sessions, to go into the world and just play around, and you're learning how to be in the world. You're learning it's a very things like for example, when you need to eat, so you might kill some animals, but if you kill too many animals, you won't have any. So the best thing to do is to raise them, to farm them. So you learn all these aspects. In this picture here, there's this mine cart is traveling on a rail, which is powered by redstone. The red substance that you see in front is redstone. So you have to learn how to get redstone. There's quite a lot to learn from one another about how to be in this game and what to do when you're there. So basically how we operate our Big G game is we set up the game board, and then, as I said, it's pretty self-explanatory to most people, at least the people who like that kind of thing. So we're not really telling people what to do, people are figuring out what to do. What age is right to begin play? Louisa asks. It can be pre-literate. One interesting thing about Minecraft is that kids who can't read play. Yes, Jane says her son started playing when he was 5, and Jane, by the way, is also in our EVO Minecraft MOOC session. So she's actually the Jane who was referred to in an earlier slide. So hi, Jane. So yeah, people before they can read, they can play. So they don't have to. They can just do it. My granddaughter I probably started watching her play when she's about 7 or 8, and of interest to me was that she didn't. We played a little in Creative World, and she built some things, but then she said, "I want to go where the monsters are." So she went right there. And another thing we're noticing about this new, as I was saying earlier, in 2015 we spent a lot of time in Creative World, then went to Survival. In last year we did sort of the same. The second year we ran the course, but this year we've got these worlds already developed in Survival and in Creative, and we found the space is really infinite. So we found places distant from where our existing worlds are, and we sort of started these new worlds for the people. Now what's happened is that the people are coming into Survival World because they can go to one or the other. We actually spawn them in Survival. They can press a button and they can go to Creative. They're not electing to do that. I'm finding that very interesting. The people are actually quite interested in before this goes off the screen, I see a question: what are the advantages and disadvantages of introducing gamification in an e-learning environment? Well, basically you have to see the advantage of gamification. Now this is, as I said, it's difficult to see, it's difficult to know how it works until you experience it. So that's one thing that if you're in a gamified environment, then you can then you know how it works. That's why it's kind of important. If you wanted to see how it worked, you'd have to come and play with us or find another game. I'm sure there are many game spaces. This is how our game world operates. The slide that is here, we put the game board up basically, and then people come into the world and they start to play. They don't ask a lot of questions, they just do it. We schedule meetings in World using this doodle tool. So you can see this is a screenshot of one of our recent doodles. It's a polling tool, and the poll question we ask is, what time are you available? And so people fill in their availabilities, and we can see then where the clusters of people are. So we can know when to meet in World. So we haven't been setting webinars yet, but we're basically just kind of meeting spontaneously. And then they post their experiences to the Google community. They keep blogs. They're encouraged to keep blogs and record their missions. And we don't really have, we have a syllabus. We've written out a syllabus. We've explained to people what to do, but it's kind of like the manual for Facebook. People don't necessarily use it. If they're gamers, they're happy with community as a curriculum and with the MOOC model. And community as a curriculum is something else that Dave Cormier has been writing about. There's an interesting article about that. He recently ran a MOOC called Rhizomatic Learning, and the 2014 Rhizomatic Learning was themed "The Community is the Curriculum." What that means is you can state goals for a course, but what the community will tell you where they want to go. So it's where you let the community drive the curriculum. So if you develop a community and they enjoy being with each other and playing with each other, learning from each other, as you're probably doing in Techno CLIL, then to some extent the people in that community, if they know what they want to learn, they might drive the curriculum in that direction. So basically, EVO Minecraft MOOC is a game. It's a big G game because it has rules, but there's flexibility. People sort of bring their own goals to it. It has challenges, and I didn't say much about badges, but we give badges as well. The way we do that, we set up a spreadsheet, a Google sheet that people can join, and they join the sheet, and then they enter their accomplishments on the sheet, and that sheet, to write on it, you have to join it, and we let people write on it who are part of our community, but it's shareable for everybody. So what this does is that spreadsheet keeps a record of evidence of people having accomplished their goals. And then we can give badges, and we can point in the badge. The badge has a link that points back to that spreadsheet where anybody can see what people did. They can see links, because we ask them to put links to your blog posts, links to your pictures. So people actually document the missions they accomplished. And from that documentation, they get badges if they do a certain number of things. We haven't really set the number. We have about 12 or 13 missions. If they accomplish, say, half of them, we'll probably award a badge. But the important thing is that to get the badge, anybody who looks at the badge can click on it. And when they click on it, they go to that page where they see the evidence. So the badge is a certificate that shows what the person did to earn that certificate. So anyway, games are most fun if they don't play out the way that you anticipated. So, you know, if you know what's going to happen in a game, it's not that much fun. A game really has to have it has to be serendipitous, you know. So so we try to stay serendipitous. Now, if you want, when you're applying this in a CLIL environment, I would think that the things that you, if you can gamify it, one element of games is awards like badges, and then, well, these other things, having challenges, having missions, calling your tasks missions is kind of a gamification technique. So letting people work at their own pace, because if you're playing a game, you're not doing the things that you're told to do. You're getting better and better, and then branching out and getting more and more challenged. So what do we learn? What do we learn about gamification? Here's Linda Geelan. One of her posts in our community is that she'd set up a farm somewhere. She said, if anybody wants to come to my farm, come and help yourself. Just put stuff back if you you know, if you take something because you need it, maybe right away, you're going to die if you don't eat, then just put it back. So it's an example of how we cooperate with each other in survival. So you assist others, and you're assisted by others in the world, and with their cooperation you stay alive and learn. So think of other games you play. Football, for example. You can't, no one person is the team. It requires a team. Everybody's playing together. Everybody's doing different things. If you're just trying to play by yourself, you're not going to enjoy it as much as if you team up with other people. So if you want to learn about teamwork, you might play football. Possibly some, well, anyway. So basically, gamification turns out to be learning through teamwork, mutual support, meeting challenges, and achieving your goal. It has to be your goal. So it could be that the goal is to put the ball into the net, but people who play that game really want to do that. So they're trying to achieve that goal. In Minecraft, I don't know, what are we trying to achieve? I guess my goal is really to learn. I wanted to learn why is Minecraft so compelling to teachers, not just to students. So by going into the game, I saw how it worked. I saw how something that I thought was impossible is very achievable, and you're really surprised about the support that you get. And you start thinking, if my students were in this environment, think of how much fun it would be for them to learn what I'm trying to teach them. Now, and I mentioned Mircea's quests for a reason, actually, because some teachers set up worlds where they take their students to learn about concepts. One really, if you're teaching archaeology, for example, or if you're studying ancient cultures, you can recreate those cultures or artifacts from those cultures in Minecraft, and you can send people into a game to explore it and learn things that you're trying to teach them. The things I'm thinking of are pyramids that people have created to get people to. Angela says cooperation, human relation using technology. Yes, okay, that's right. Project-based approach, because not only can you create the worlds that your students can explore, but they can create them too. I mean, I'm teaching people about cadets who are learning to fly, so we could have them construct airports and things like that. Okay, so we're about at the end of my slide, but since Jane is here, she'll appreciate that. I was just looking for some examples of how people are surviving and using each other to help them. So Jane says that it's just from the other day, the 12th of January actually. She was she's reporting that she's traveling on a boat that she crafted, and she's thanking me for teleporting her, because actually both of us got into a dark place and we couldn't see, and we didn't have torches with us, I guess. So I teleported myself to the spawn point and brought her out too, because we were just stuck. It was not fun at that point. So we escaped. She thanked me. She says, and then she took a picture of me in the spawn, the longhouse where we land when we die, or I'm a sysop on this, so I can cheat a little bit. Kimball Harrison, somebody just the other day, actually it was today, or it was yesterday, I suppose. She's written, "Whose lovely house did I find just in time for nightfall?" She was out at a time when it was getting dark. She had no shelter. She found this house and went inside and stayed there during the night. And Jeff wrote and said, "That's my house. Feel free to camp out overnight anytime, though the accommodations are a bit Spartan." Well, that doesn't really matter. But basically, these are just examples of what happens in the world as people are negotiating it. Just building geometry, geometrical concepts are here. Math, geometry, architecture, creativity. If you're teaching art, this would be a good thing to do. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much what I've wanted to say, and I think I've gone a little over an hour. If you want the slides, you can go to slideshare.net/VanceS, and you can find those slides and a lot of the links are working on SlideShare. So, and
thank you, Vance.
Yeah, if you want to try it, by the way, you can join us. We don't. You're the community creating your own curriculum when you join us. So you just, as in MOOCs, a lot of people don't really complete MOOCs. They just learn from them a little bit. And so you're welcome to pop by and join us if you want. Thank you, Leticia.
Thank you, and thank you so much. Just want to say to tell our teachers from Italy that INDIO, which is the Institute for Education Research I work for and research there, is exploring just in this period the possibilities of Minecraft with our own Minecraft. So hopefully in next month our schools will be able to experiment Minecraft through our official platform, because INDIO is the National Institute for Research under the Ministry of Education. So I would like to thank Vance for this hints and for exploring the possibilities that career teachers and language teachers can find in using Minecraft. So thank you again, especially on a Sunday, Vance, for having found time to present in Techno CLIL. So thanks again, and thanks to our participants.
This is my work.
Bye, everybody. It's a work, yes, but it's a weekend, so
well,
double thank you.
Sunday is the first day of the work week in where I live in the United Arab Emirates. So.
Okay.
Friday and Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. Speak soon, Vance. Thanks again.
Okay. Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Okay, for the benefit of the stream, that was the end of Learning Together, episode 357, a talk that I gave on Minecraft and trying to relate it to CLIL for the people in the in that EVO session. So thanks for joining. I hope you enjoy the recording. I hope the recording sound is good, and I hope that the clarity is sufficient for you. So this is Vance Stevens in Al Ain, United Arab Emirates. By the way, I was recording this in presentation mode on my computer, so I probably would have been better to have recorded the participants' view. You would have seen my picture large and all that. But anyway, I'm just experimenting with streaming. I'm learning how to do this. So, signing off from Al Ain, Vance Stevens here, the 15th of January 2017. And this has been not only a Learning Together 357, but also an episode of EVO Minecraft MOOC, something about what we're trying to accomplish here. So I hope people benefit. It's nice to see Jane and Beth there. If other people made it, that's great. And the recording, of course, is here. And if you're still listening to this, then you're watching the recording. Bye-bye.